Drum roll, please.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Oh, here we go. It's almost there.
Yeah! It looks so funny because it's not facing the right way, but we did it!
Yeah.
No more colossi! No more colossi! We're done. Aw, that makes me feel good. Welcome everyone to another episode of Saturday Night Factional Fight plays Wurm Online. My name is Brian and this is my brother Adam, and we did it. We finished the Colossus, allowing us to have two at the front. That looks great. So welcome back to another episode. Yeah, we've been working on our village all week. Maybe we should tell the story of the Colossus. One of our villagers, Pekka, decided he wanted that Colossus built. So he took it upon himself to create all the mats for it and then said, "Here you guys, can you build it now?" We're like, okay. So yesterday we took all the mats and just got them in there, and we did it for the beginning of the episode. So that should make you happy, Pekka. And all right.
Yeah, I think he wanted it done in time for the video. He was very he had a goal set out at the beginning of the week. I'm going to make all the mats and then it's going to be ready for the video.
And it worked
at
out.
the time we were like right.
They do look
Yeah.
great out there, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now we just need to build up those walls coming up. All right, so today we're going to be talking about animal husbandry or breeding or everything to do with animals and how to own them. I don't know. I'll let Adam explain a bit more while I run up here.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about animal husbandry. It was one of the topics that we were, it was requested that we spend some time on it. So, I mean, there's quite a lot to the animals in this game. It's a lot more than most games are, in the sense that each animal tends to have its own unique identity in this game. And, some people would devote their entire time in the game just dealing with animals. And that could be, a whole game unto itself. And so it's the reason why in the first episode of Saturday Night Factional Fight we mentioned it as one of the 8 pillars of Wurm. It is a very important aspect of the game, and so we thought we'll devote an entire episode to it.
Well, I know I'm excited because I don't know too much about animal husbandry and that sort of thing. I was given the horses and I just ride them. I just hitch them duck carts and I put gear on them or whatever. So I'm going to be excited to hear what you have to say about it and see how much we really know about this topic. Hopefully you know a lot. But before we go into that, let's do a village update since we haven't done one. I mean, you guys just saw the port, so you saw that we have another Colossus. So that
that was a big update.
new breaking news. What do we have up here? We planted some hedges in front of our castle. I'm trying to finish all the first levels of our castle. I think I said in the last episode that our castle consists of 7 large buildings. I haven't quite finished each building. I'm close. You can see over here that this is still plans. I think I finished half of that. I'm also making a lot of mistakes and trying to correct them, so I'm wasting way too many mats for that. But what can you do? Have to be perfect. Here's the main house. I did start planting marble floors. We're gonna have marble floors in here.
Oh, there's a big update actually that just happened, and one of the items was they fixed something in this game that we've sort of been.
They did?
I don't know. Yeah, like look at me, Turn around. What do you notice?
Give me a second. You're not sinking into the floor.
Yeah, I'm finally standing on top of the floor.
Yeah.
You don't understand how many times we've avoided that topic and tried to like change the camera view so that we just don't see the feet.
But put the horse in there.
That's true. Maybe does the horse? Looks kind of like the horse isn't fixed yet.
The horse isn't fixed.
Yeah, that's how it used to be for everybody.
Well, that's a good step in the right direction. Getting the avatars to not sink into the floors. You just raise right up there. Hopefully one day, us Wormians will not sink into the floor. None of the animals will sink into the floor. What did we do back here? We finished our personal stables back here.
Yep.
Put our enchanted grass in there.
Yeah, we finished the enchanted grass in the personal
so the point of these stables are going to be just any one of our personal horses that we use that have gear on them that we brand. Some breeding horses that we're going to have back here. So we have enough room for like some breeding horses. These will not be the extra horses that we're going to have.
No, these are the horses that we'll be using every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's our personal stables.
So let me go in here. I do sort of have a better, or not a better, but a different idea for these stables, so I might end up destroying this and redoing it again. We'll see. We'll see how much work I want to do, but I do have a better idea. Maybe one day I'll get around to it. So I still haven't finished this building back here, so I think those are the 2 buildings I have not finished. This building and the building on the other side, one of the buildings on the other side. We set up some of the stations, so just we didn't set up the rooms necessarily or inner walls. I haven't even touched anything like that. We're gonna have a lot of hallways and connected like rooms and stuff. But Griff goes, I want to start forging now. I want to blacksmith my stuff.
Since we moved into this area, our crafting station has been this one little tiny house, and we've sort of crammed everything into this tiny house, and it's a mess. And so I've been wanting to get our stations together and spread them out. We now have the room. So this is the new blacksmithing station.
You started placing all of your stuff down, building coffins, building weapon racks, and a rare forge.
This little,
ooh.
Yeah, we got a rare forge in here. It's nice. That rare forge lasts forever. It's awesome.
So we just have, I think this section you said was going to be your smithing, the smithery wing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The smithery will have a jewel crafting station for
jewel crafting station.
Jewelry crafting.
Your blacksmithing station.
Yeah.
We've got the cooking station. It's kind of a mess right now.
The cooking station is a mess.
The priest area.
Since
the priest is the cook, which I guess then you used your priest to enchant, so that's why it's near the blacksmithing station. Basically, everything I don't do is in here. So I'm going to be like locked away on the other side of the castle by myself, whittling away at a log. All right. So what else?
Out here, we've started our extra horse pen.
This is our extra horse pen. Whoa. Yeah, luckily we got a little fountain here, so that's good for you. That's close by your blacksmithing area.
Got a few
Uh,
young horses coming up. I think that my horse just turned old, so I might have to replace
are
mine.
you on your horse? Yeah, your horse
Yeah,
did just turn old.
just turned old, so
So you'll
uh,
get to take your pick. The point of, or the whole reason we have it designed sort of like this is, let's say Nasili, our horse breeder, wants to sell her horses. Well, out here, I haven't actually finished this house, but the whole idea, let me get off my horse so that
how'd you get out there so fast?
you can watch the video later and find out. The whole idea here is that they can come here and look at the horses and try to purchase them. If they can't see all of them, they can come into this archway, which should be finished at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I put windows all the way across here, so they can
Yeah, I
just
see that.
peek in. They can't get through the door, but they'll be able to peek in through the windows and basically take their pick. I want that white one over there that I can't quite see.
Mm-hmm. And we were lucky to find a water
That one.
tile right on this spot. Like, it's like 5 tiles away from the crafting station, so maybe 10 tiles. Within 10 tiles for sure. So we were lucky to have a spot there for that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you did find that. So that's what happened on the castle level. I think that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of replanning and planning again. And whoa, somebody! Oh no, that's an old enchanted grass tile.
I mean, it took us a few days to set up the crafting stations, and it took us another couple days to finish the Colossus. So, I mean, it's been a productive week.
By next week, I'll at least have all of the buildings completed as far as the outside of the buildings. Oh yeah, I also
hopefully.
spent a long time and went around and just started packing every single house.
Mm-hmm.
And the next step is to actually pave it, because for some reason we figured out that if you put a floor on top of, or you put a building floor, so like those new raised floors, they don't go fast. They take the property of whatever's underneath it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we figured. I think you figured that out, Adam.
I read it somewhere, and I tested it, and I'm like, yeah, it does. Like, we're going slow.
So it's possible in the future that'll be fixed, but for now it's not. So I'm gonna have to go around and just cobblestone the heck out of every single tile before I put something under it, before I start building the floors.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of why there's only 3 marble floors there, because then I realized that I forgot to cobblestone.
Mm-hmm.
Next,
So we're gonna.
next level, I believe there's not too much difference. You still have this farm area here, which is the farm, the public farm. I know Nightshade got herself champion dogs. Ooh, one just gave birth, a young champion dog.
Oh, nice.
We got to thank Elizabeth for those. She was kind enough to donate them.
Nice.
Over here, I believe one of the newer villagers, Scarbone, is finally, has built up quite a bit. Already has some stable-looking area here and a house that at least the first floor is done.
This looks
not
like it's gonna
bad.
be a nice walkway. I like that idea.
And Nightshade decided to make a nice entrance area, so it's starting to look nice. I believe she did that in the last week. So that
Where
looks
is
pretty
that?
nice.
I don't think I saw that.
Right here with the...
Oh, I see, with the banners and the. I see.
That's right.
That's nice.
So a nice entrance. People are getting confused because before they used to be able to just go up to the castle area and then just like run right through outside of our deed. But we've since put, the castle walls all the way around it, so they're all getting stuck. They're all coming up and being like, "Did you close off the entrance?" I'm like, that's not really an entrance, but
Yeah.
the real entrance is supposed to be here on the village level, and we have an entrance at the port. So that's why. Oh, sorry about that. That's why we have our road, which is the road that goes all the way out to the steep, leads straight to. So if you just follow the road, it'll lead you right to the village area as well as right to the port, which is down here. Here we have Kiwi's area. Here's something that I wish they fixed. The fact that when you ride a horse on dirt or any kind of land that's sort of close to water level, even though you can look around and see that it's not water level, they still haven't fixed the sound. I wonder.
I never noticed that until you just said.
We're swimming. We're splashing in the water. No, we're not. It's only on horses. See, as if you get off horses,
If I get
it's
off the
gone. You notice that?
I got off my horse and I still don't hear the water. So
No, I mean you're on your horse. You hear the water. You'll hear it later in the video.
okay, sure. Maybe my
I
sound
don't know
settings
what
aren't
you
set
hear.
properly.
I believe all of this was already done. I haven't touched this in the last week. And then, really, the only other thing that we did, maybe I built this dormitory. I might have done that. I don't know. I built a second dormitory. And the person that occupied the first dormitory decided to say so long and wished him well. Really, the dormitories are just for more casual people.
That's right.
People that just want to come and, have a safe place. Probably, have a safe place to level up any kind of skills that they have, but they don't have any space to grow at all there. So
That's right.
I think of it as more of a temporary kind of a learning area. We're going to have a lot of people coming and going.
I like how you made them like mirror images of one another.
That's like you're on a street. Later we'll have like a little street and maybe a little farm for them. I don't know.
Little boxes. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I got to get used to the fact that we have 2
Colossi.
colossi out there.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to be building up the walls. I wonder how high we can go. We're going to have to experiment with that because we'll have to build one up and just see, should we go as high as its, elbow sticking out there? Should we go as high as... I don't know exactly how we should go.
Yeah, we might have to move them in a little bit. We'll have to adjust them because the
I'm also wondering if, with the walls, see how I started building up this one and I started realizing that brown like strip border, I don't think it's going to look pleasing if we bring that up like 5, 6, 7. I don't
well,
know
the
how
only
high.
way is that we'll have to hope that
Hope
that something will.
That they create new walls and that they allow us to switch them. If they don't, then we'd have to break them all down and then redo them all. That would... Maybe they could have... If they have enough walls, they could just do like a construction type thing where it only requires a certain amount of materials more and a specific tool to like
Change them.
instead of having to destroy the whole wall.
Yeah, I kind of feel reluctant to finishing all these walls and spending like thousands and thousands of mats, only to find that we'll have to break them all down again and replan them.
Yeah, that's okay. But I think that's it. I think that's what we did this week. So that's the village update.
I'd say that's a productive week.
We didn't do that much. We built a colossus. I finished a bunch of buildings on the castle. You started your
Finished
stay.
the
Okay, it
crafting
does seem like
station.
we did a lot. That was a good week. But now it's over. Got a new fresh week. Let's jump right into animal husbandry and the whole thing about breeding and all that stuff. Now, the reason why I wanted to start this topic this week, it's not just random, but basically the Hillside Horde Corp, the people from there, they unfortunately lost their horses. I think they were stolen or something. I haven't really been to their deed, but they said that they have like a tiny little deed, so they don't want to spend that much in upkeep. And like, sure, I know people are concerned about money and trying to stay premium. So they lower their deed costs, upkeep costs, by having a smaller deed, and they just like build outwards and they repair what they have. But apparently their pen was off their deed, and one of the villagers forgot to lock up they like unlocked it for some reason, I don't know, and they said that all their horses were stolen. So
It's a tough break.
yeah, that kind of sucks, especially when you're sort of starting out. The first like 2-3 months. Horses are a big deal. Uh,
Hmm.
and just to have all of your horses stolen. I mean, there's nothing you could really do because it was an unlocked pen, and they don't have them. They don't have them. What is it called? Branded at all. We'll
Hmm.
talk about that in a bit. What that means, and people just took them, and we felt bad. We gave them some horses, so they were happy.
Yeah.
But now I thought, hey, why not talk about animal husbandry? What is this? Why should you do this? What's the reason for it? Isn't it just like, can't I just get a horse and go? I don't know. Why don't you talk a little bit about animal husbandry and, how animals work in general? Like, what?
I think that some people play this game and they never touch animals. Like, sure, they might buy a horse from somebody and then use them to ride around or hitch to a
Sort
cart
of
or
like
whatever,
me.
yeah. And you can completely ignore everything that there is about animals and just use them. But there is sort of an entire,
Or
I
like a
don't know.
mini game.
Like
An entire.
I don't want to use the word minigame. I was actually going to say that, but I don't want to use the word minigame because it's like an entire aspect of this game.
Mhm.
The thing about animals in this game is that every animal is its own entity. It
I see.
spawns into the world either by, breeding, or just there are some spawn points where animals will just spawn. And once it's alive, then it's pretty much stays alive until it runs its, life course, and it will eventually die.
So I know this much. Like, animals need like food, and like they're
Yep.
actually living. They're going out trying to seek food out and like eat the food, depending
That's
on what
right.
animal. They get
Yeah,
older, and
Yeah. See, the animals like roam the world. There's no tether. I've seen, and we've seen in the videos, like animals just like swimming away in the water. They'll climb mountains. They'll go through forests. They'll just wander. Some animals seem, and I don't even know how it's programmed, but it almost seems like they follow you.
Yeah.
Like in our first deed, we had this dog that kept coming around our place. It
That's
was like
right.
looked like it kept wanting to like, and unicorns have been told to like follow people. It's like I've heard weird stories like that, but I mean, it's kind of interesting how I feel like we have never played a game like this where an animal will come into existence and it will be like its own item, like own entity. It has its own traits. It has its own, growth cycle and its own.
that's right.
And then if it dies, then it dies, and that animal is pretty much gone forever. It won't respawn again exactly the same way. So yeah, I find that really interesting. I mean, what else can I say about animals in general? I mean, like for example, horses each have their own unique name.
And those are the ones that you personally breed.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I know when animals spawn out in the wild, they just called horse.
yeah.
Or
That's right.
whatever.
That's
I
right.
think the horses, I think we're mostly talking about, and hell horses.
Yeah, I don't think that horses and hell horses become named, but I don't think anything else in the game becomes named.
That's right. And all the bred ones, all the ones bred in captivity, if you will, those are the ones that will get a randomly generated name from a long list of whatever horse names that's listed
Yeah.
somewhere in a database secretly.
Actually, speaking of bred in captivity, recently they added something that if you breed an animal in captivity, then it gets a tag. It
I
gets
don't
tagged.
think that's in the game just
Was it not in the
yet.
game yet?
They
Okay, so
said
that
that
sounds-
it's coming.
Yeah, it says that anyway. It
More than
seems to
likely,
be-
by the time you watch this video, it's here already.
Yeah.
It's coming soon. That's what they said.
It's something that is to combat people what they call farming fight skill. So they'll breed something, they'll just breed and breed and breed these animals or monsters or whatever, and then they'll kill them for fight skill.
See,
so
I
now-
don't know. Like, it takes forever to breed an animal. It's like 7, 8 days.
Well, the idea is now that if
How
it's bred in
many could you
captivity,
possibly kill?
it's bred in captivity now, then you won't get any fight skill. No, but this was a real concern because you get better experience from animals that have different traits. So like more traits that it has, and if it's a special animal like a raging or greenish, then you'll get more experience. So people would breed these specific types of animals in order to gain faster skill gain.
Shouldn't that be a benefit of breeding animals and not a downfall or an exploit?
I mean, that is one argument. I mean,
That is my
you could
argument.
say that, sure, but I think that the main reason why it's put into place is because chaos is now opened up to full on PvP, and so what people are doing are coming to the freedom servers, farming fight skill, and then going over to chaos and competing over there. I mean, on the one hand, it is a benefit of animal husbandry. On the other hand, it seems like an easy way to gain fight skill. Anyway, that's that whole thing.
But I mean, like, it's not easy to do it.
I wouldn't say it's easy to do it. Yeah, no, it takes time. You need to have a good animal husbandry.
Yeah, it's something that takes quite a while to accomplish. But once you get to that level, that's more of a benefit. There goes my music in the game. So I'll try to talk over the music. But I don't know. I can see both sides of the argument. But that is a debate. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? Send us a message in the comment section. On any one of our comment section at serversaredown.com or on YouTube. As I'm trying to talk over the music. I don't know.
I mean, every animal, almost every animal, I shouldn't say every animal, but almost every animal can be bred, it seems.
Wow. Almost every animal. I don't think every animal. I don't think spiders can.
Okay, maybe spiders
I don't know.
can.
There's certain ones, but mostly
But I know
they can.
scorpions can, crocodiles, cave bugs. Can you breed trolls? Can you breed trolls?
I could be wrong. Maybe spiders can. I don't know. What?
Can you breed
trolls?
Breed trolls? Yeah, or like goblins or like those humanoid.
I don't think so. I think humanoids are a different kind of breed. I mean,
Could be
you
wrong.
can easily look that up on the wiki, I believe.
Yeah.
So let's look up one quickly because we didn't do our homework. So if we look up, let's say what you were saying, troll. Yeah, trolls can not be tamed, but they can be dominated. So I don't know what that means
Okay.
for us.
Yeah.
It doesn't say
I don't
whether they
think
can be
that
bred.
any of those
I
can
don't
be.
think so. It wouldn't
Okay.
really make sense to me.
In any case, most animals can be bred anyway. That's
There's a lot of animals.
a cool thing.
Crocodiles. I don't know. What else can you think of? Cave bugs, mountain
Cave bugs.
lions,
Chickens,
chickens,
pigs,
pigs. Yeah, there's a ton of non-aggro animals like
Dogs.
bison, dog, cow,
boars cannot be bred.
boars, and
That's-
those are another kind of animal that are like religious-based animals.
Yeah.
Is that what
Oh.
you would say?
Are they religious based?
Something like that. Something that
Okay.
they're attached onto a religion or something.
I know.
Or attached onto a type of server. Like the boars are like the freedom server animals.
deers
can't
can
really-
be bred.
Deers. I forget about deers because I haven't seen one in so long.
I know. Something we'll talk about in a
Bring
little
back
bit.
the
though.
deers.
Bring back deer. Okay, so I mean,
But that's another thing with animals. They don't all like spawn. They don't have to spawn in the world. They could. There was one time where all there was everywhere was just dogs. It was
yeah, I remember that.
it was like
It's a
the
local thing.
very early on. I almost feel like if you want, it's like your deed at any given time in the year could just like get overrun with something. Like
Yeah.
overrun. There was a while where we were overrun with with dogs. There was a while where we were overrun with slow cave bugs. Just
That's
like
right.
everywhere, there's like slow cave bugs, and they come to you like all these different. There was a while where we had unicorns everywhere. It
Now, the
was just
reason why this happens is because there are things called dens, or are they called dens?
dens or
Anyway,
layers.
layers, they'll spawn into a spot, and then uh, it'll basically spawn animals out of the den. Now, only certain animals spawn this way. Like, I know unicorns do, and cave bugs, and that sort of thing. Or do even cave bugs
Cave bugs spawn. I believe I
from
saw.
caves?
I would think from caves, uh,
Yeah.
but seeing all those slow cave bugs made me think that there was some kind of layer out there.
Hmm.
But there's just so much. Like,
Yeah.
you can just stay in one spot and see all sorts of different kinds of animals. And once they're gone, like there was a while we got all those dogs and we were
Yeah.
collecting them, and
Yeah.
once they're gone, they're gone.
They stopped spawning, and then
You don't. I don't think other than the dogs that we just got over there, I barely seen any dogs in the wild
that's right.
at
So
all.
it has to do with like people collecting them and then breeding them, and then when they stop spawning, the only people that have them are the ones who've bred them.
Yeah, so you have to be. Oh, there's a dog right there. You
And
have
then
to
they
be. You have to go to a person, a breeder,
That's right.
breeder of that certain type of animal, and be like, I would like to purchase one, or maybe
And
they're
then they
nice enough to
become-
give you one,
And they become commodities, like
Yeah.
champion ones especially.
which we'll talk about later. They're one of the traits. Which I think we mentioned before, where there's not just a dog. There's different kinds of dogs, different kind of traded dogs. There's like slow dogs and alert dogs and raging dogs and champion dogs, and they all look different. They all have a different look, which I think is great for the variety in this game. People like to collect them. People like to breed them. It's just a nice commodity, a nice little, like, you didn't want to use the word minigame or game in itself, but
Yeah.
people play this game just for that. Just to breed. Yeah. Don't screw with the breeding crowd. So, let's talk a little bit about animal husbandry. It's the skill that's involved in breeding animals in general, right?
That's right. Mhm.
But
it's
as a new player, like, I know this from experience when we started, if I want to breed an animal, if I want to, for example, a horse, which are the easiest ones, along with pigs and stuff, I would just take the animal. So you would just lead the animal, like I'm doing with my horse, lead it to another one. Now, each animal is either a male or female. You can examine it to find out. My animal is a he. I just go up to a female and then I'll get them close together, and then hit the breed option. Yeah, so I just do that. I can do that at level 1. I can have no animal husbandry experience. They will breed. I will get a horse right from the start.
yeah.
Why would I want to level this thing up?
Yeah. Now the thing is that as a low-level animal husbandry skill, even if you have some decent horses, you have a relatively low chance at getting a good traded horse right off the bat. So that's pretty much the reason. I mean,
So what's a
as we
traded
mentioned, each of these
horse?
horses have traits, and some of them might only have one trait, some of them might not even have any traits. In fact, if you get a horse from the wild, chances are it won't have any traits. Now, these traits,
What is a trait?
yeah, it's a trait. It's basically a bonus to the horse's strength, or to their speed, or to how much they can carry, or there's another trait that makes them every so often get a speed boost. And then there's also bad traits, like, for example, a horse can have 2 different length legs, which makes them walk terribly slow.
Ew.
Or what's the one? Strong-willed, which pretty much means that you'll like stop leading it every so often, I think. Or something like
Wasn't
that.
there
Am I
one
right?
that, like, you get thrown off the horse or something? I don't know.
Oh no. I don't know.
Anyway, all these traits then. So if I was to breed one, you're saying, like, would I even get a trait at low level?
I mean, there's a
How did
there's
this
a
work?
chance. I mean, in Wurm,
So
it's all
you're
chance-based.
saying, as that skill gets higher, your horse could potentially get more traits
Hmm.
from breeding them. So you breed them, the baby that comes out gets like more traits.
That's right. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I mean, there comes a certain point where you are guaranteed a certain number of traits. Like just like with farming, how at certain levels you were guaranteed to get 3 crops and 4 crops.
Do you know the like some of the levels that you would get guaranteed?
I'm pretty certain that at 50 you are guaranteed 5 traits, and I'm pretty sure it's like 40 you're guaranteed 4, 30 you're guaranteed 3. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure about the
By
50.
saying guaranteed, it means that because this game's so random, has like
Yeah,
a big random number generator, you could get more,
you could get more. Yeah, you're guaranteed the minimum of.
but more than likely you won't. I remember, I think we got one.
Yeah, there's
I
a
think
possibility at 50 that you can get a 6 trait, but you'll want to get that high up. People breed 6 traded horses, and that's a big deal. I mean,
All right. So how do we get animal husbandry up? Do I just like breed a whole lot of horses or whatever cows or whatever I have?
breeding does give you skill, but the best way to gain skill is to groom.
Groom, I make those like with a grooming brush.
Yeah, a grooming brush.
I make those things. Do I have
I
one?
believe that they're just a carpentry item. So yeah, you have pretty good carpentry. If you do you have one?
Do you have
Sorry,
one?
I have an extra one here.
I might have one.
I have one
I do
that
not
has
have one.
a decent. I mean, it's a lower quality, but that's okay because we have low skill in this. I think my skill is higher than yours, but not by much.
So how does it work? Like, okay, let's just see how it works. So I have a grooming brush. I assume I just
Yeah,
activate the grooming brush. I go
yeah,
up to one of these guys. I can just go up to my horse, I guess.
yeah.
Oh, a groom option
Groom.
appeared.
Yeah, that's right. You activate the grooming brush. You right click and you groom, or you can bind
Not
this
bad.
to a hotkey. And yeah, you'll just sit there. It's a 30-second ish timer, so it's a pretty
Mine
long
was
one.
like 20 something. That's not bad.
Okay, 20 something timer, and you groom and groom, and yeah, eventually it'll say that either, like it happened to me
Oh,
just right now, they will shy away from the action and interrupt it. So
that means
that
that
means you failed,
you failed. I got
and
the
you'll get
opposite. You have now tended to age
yeah.
fast lightning.
Now you won't get any animal husbandry skill if you fail, so you have to groom them again if you
Oh
fail.
yeah,
And it's another,
you're right.
and eventually you'll get the action. It's a
So I can
pretty
just sit here and groom over and over. Oh no, it says that it
no.
can't.
Yeah. Each animal can only be groomed once every hour.
Once every hour.
Yeah. So I
You're
mean,
gonna need a
if
lot if you wanna.
if you want to, like, you have 5 hours of sleep bonus and you want to just burn 5 hours worth of uh you'll need,
Do the math.
yeah, well, 30 seconds ish an action, like taking into account failures. Like imagine 30 seconds you'll
Just
need
take into account. Okay, keep going.
120 animals.
120 animals? How about the time that you walked? Like,
Okay, so 100 animals.
oh, and then take into account that if you queue up the actions, which I assume that you can,
Yeah.
that the next one takes longer, and then the next one takes longer.
Sure. I don't know if that actually works for animal husbandry because it is one of those skills that actions don't actually take away
Let's
your
say
stamina,
it does.
but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I have a
But
feeling that
let's
queuing
say
up.
it does.
I mean, there's certain skills in this game where queuing up doesn't make sense. One of them is,
from what I've heard, for the people that do breed animals,
yeah, queuing up does.
a quick tip is that, yeah, getting your stamina lower does increase the skill gain.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard that, so I don't know.
And that actually, a quick tip here, even though I'm not supposed to do it at this point, but I'm going to forget, is that if you drain your stamina and then like hit climb or something to set your stamina like halfway, then start breeding. It's actually quite hard. I don't know if that really helps, but if you're a master at doing that without wasting too much time,
Mm-hmm.
that wouldn't be too bad. Like, of a thing to do. Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm going around. Now, I'm definitely not, as I get through this, as long as they don't move, I can tell which ones
Hmm. I
were
remember
groomed.
some dogs, if they shy away from the action, they'll just like bolt away. You got to keep track of who you've. Now, some people prefer to have tiny little two by one
I
pens,
can
or
see
even.
what the benefit if you're an animal breeder and you want to keep everything organized. Man,
Hmm.
I wouldn't be able to remember which one I groomed.
That's right, especially when you get near the end and they've all moved around or whatever. Yeah, you could get to the point where you're trying to groom the same one over and over again. That could be a waste of time.
All right, well, as we're grooming them, so this is a good way of animal husbandry. It looks like when I started the game, I did do a little bit of it.
Oh, what is your animal husbandry at?
It's at 20.
Oh, okay, so
Not
mine's
amazing, but
slightly higher, I believe. Possibly not. Let me double check. Mine is at, or it's not. That's very strange.
I remember, because it's been about a year since I did this, I remember the reason why I wanted to do this was for the care for function, and we'll talk
Hmm.
about that later. What is that? I don't know. Find out. So next, so we did talk about how you breed and all that stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
What are some of the benefits of animal husbandry?
Well, I mean, the big one is the traits. Um, but like
So
the
specifically
more
with horses.
with horses, I mean, the big thing right now, there's a huge controversy though around it, is the 5 speed horse, 4 speed horse, 3 speed horse. I mean, there's traditionally 5 speed traits, and each of those traits do something to help increase speed. Now, there's people who breed who say that 5 speed horses are over the like over a long journey, are far superior to a 4 speed horse. Um, just some of the traits. I'll go through some of them. One of them is it has a fleeter movement than normal, and if you have a high enough animal husbandry and examine the animal, then you'll be able to see whether or not it has this trait.
Is
I
there a
believe you
specific
need
number?
a level 21 to see that trait. So
I
you
know
won't be
there's
able to
there's
see
like
it.
an animal husbandry level that people like to get to that unlocks all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
I
at
think
level
it's like
41, I think it
41
is.
or 42, somewhere around there.
Yeah, at level 41 you'll be able to see all of the this. Yeah,
Level 41 animal husbandry, level
that's
42.
right. That's right.
All right. So, yeah, I don't have that. So therefore, if I examine,
But then a
I
lot of
don't
people will
see.
try to get to that 50 because then you're guaranteed the 5 traits. And if you breed properly, you can breed only the traits that you want. So
That's
you
right. There's
can
so
weed
many
out.
traits that just
Yeah,
because you can breed 5 traits doesn't mean you're going to breed a 5 speed.
that's right. You can breed other traits. Like there's a trait called it will fight fiercely, which means it has a little bit higher fighting skill, possibly.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and that could be one of the traits, and maybe you don't want that, so you'll try to breed that out, um, and get a what do you call it, a speed trait in
I
there.
guess what that means is that anytime you get the fight fiercely, it's like slaughter that horse, butcher that horse for its
Hmm.
parts or whatever. Like get that trait out of your breeding line, or what? I don't know exactly how it works.
There's things that will cause you to get bad traits. Like one thing is to inbreed. So they've inputted this system where if you breed siblings, or
Yeah.
I think if you breed a father with its daughter or a mother with its son or something, like you breed like then it counts as inbreeding. And if you inbreed, you have a very high chance of getting a bad trait, which is kind of interesting. It's pretty in depth that way.
Yeah. Like don't don't inbreed. That's for
Don't
sure.
inbreed that. Yeah.
Make sure. And I know a lot of people keep. I know at some point, Nasili did this, where she would just have an Excel file of all of her horses. There's also a
Hmm.
couple programs, but
There's a new program that keeps track of this sort of stuff and through the logs. So you'll examine it, and every time you examine it, it updates the horse automatically, I think.
I
Something
see.
crazy like that.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's a pretty good system.
Well,
But
that's
if
not
you're
bad. I mean, sorry, go on.
if you're a breeder, then that program seems to be it's still working out some bugs, but I think it's pretty much done now. So yeah,
All right. Well, animal husbandry and breeding. I guess that makes sense. That's not too complicated. Get your animal husband. Let's just recap for a second. You want to get your animal husbandry up. You have some horses or whatever, some animals, some cows, all those type of things. Get yourself a grooming brush. You're saying the lower level, or watch our optimized skill gain episode. That will give you an idea of what you would need to do. I think that does apply here.
That
high
applies
COC
here.
and
Low quality.
particular type of lowish quality grooming brush depending on your level, and
Yeah.
queuing up skills and
Okay.
doing all that stuff all applies here.
Sleep bonus.
Using your sleep bonus, all the stuff we talked about in optimized skill gain episode,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I believe is episode 9 or 10. I think 10. So
Yeah, you want to
yeah,
apply that all.
apply all of that to here, and all you do is take that grooming brush and you groom all of the animals that you have. They can only be groomed one at a time, and I believe that's it. As you go, you're gaining skill and you're hitting a particular mark, I guess. And correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but we're guessing that like at level 10 you're guaranteed one trait. At level 20 you're guaranteed two traits, all the way to all the way up, I guess. At level 90, are you guaranteed 9 traits?
I don't
guess
know.
I know that at level 7, because I know someone at level 7, they're guaranteed 7 or 70. Sorry, they're guaranteed
Okay.
7 traits. So they'll try to breed, 5 speed with fight fiercely and like other fighting traits, so you can have like a war fast horse. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And if you don't want to do horses, I know horses are the main ones because you can ride them. You can ride other ones, like you can ride the cows. You can ride like other ones. The
Cows and
only
bulls.
difference with the other animals that are not non-aggro, not non-aggro.
Not non-aggro.
I guess
So
I say
aggro.
the ones that are aggro. I don't know
Yeah.
why I just didn't say that.
Yeah.
You have to tame them before you can breed them.
That's right.
So you need, and we can get taming is almost an entire episode in it of itself on how to
Yeah.
optimize and gain that skill up, because there are tricks to that.
That's right.
I have not mastered it. But,
No, maybe we'll master it and then we'll bring it to another episode.
yeah,
But taming essentially is making the animal
love you.
love you and follow you and
Yeah.
do all sorts
The-
of things. And
The animal becomes your pet.
yeah. So if you like pets,
Like, this horse is not my pet. I can ride it,
yeah,
but he doesn't love me.
no,
But he can go. But you can make him love you by
Yeah.
getting your taming up and taming it. The higher the taming, I know that like the more it loves you, the longer it'll last. That sort of thing. So you can do that and apply it to like bears and wolves and mountain lions, all these things, cave bugs, and you can get them to love you, and then bring them back and breed them that way. But in order to breed them, you have to tame them. So it's a little more in depth and harder. Takes a lot longer, and it's harder to set up if you want to have like a big farm of aggro mobs. I know that our neighbor here has a giant like crocodile pen. It's just like people love to do that
that's right. People love animals. It's just
because it's a great part of the game. So I think that's pretty much the gist of it. It's not too complicated.
well, there are some
are-
other things. There's other reasons to breed animals. I know there's some people who
There
breed
are.
cave bugs to farm their materials, and like cows, you breed cows to get leather and other things like that. So like, there's reasons why you would breed them other than just riding horses.
That's right. You want to be a leather worker, you're gonna need leather.
You're gonna get leather. Only one place to get leather. Well, a couple places.
Yeah, you can go look them up. You breed what, cows or something, and horses and stuff.
Crocodiles could do it.
Uh, that's true. All right. Well, if you have no objections, let's jump into
Sure.
any kind of tip and trick or little area that you can think of with horse breeding. And
Okay.
since I don't know much, I will say the easiest ones that I know that doesn't really have anything to do
Something
with
about
horse.
animals in general.
Let's go with. I always found this kind of annoying, but sort of like a game in and of itself is when you lead an animal, because you always like you find an animal and you're leading it and you're trying to bring it back. It'll get stuck in like walls and stuff. So if you like try to cut a corner really fast, like a fence or a house, it's just gonna get stuck right in there, and you're gonna like lose or you keep your rope, but you
That's right. If you're not paying attention, you can make it to your destination, turn around, and be like, the animal's gone.
where to go.
Yeah,
And then you'll see in your event window like you stop leading it.
yeah. Now, one interesting thing is that they don't get caught on mine walls, like underground. If you're leading them underground, they won't get stuck on the
I
walls there.
don't.
but-
I like sit there and I try to maneuver. You saying I don't have to maneuver them in the tiny little?
No, mine walls seem to be good. Although I've seen people lose
That's
horses
good.
in mine walls before, but
Oh, I've
I
lost
think
a
it's for a
horse in
completely
my
other
wall,
reason other than getting stuck.
It's when
But
I'm
they'll get
riding them.
Yeah, yeah. But they'll get stuck on house walls and fences and anything like that.
Okay,
Gotta bring them around. Pretty good, yeah.
I'll get the next one because I
Sure.
know that's easy
It's another
enough.
pretty easy
You
one.
want to
Yeah.
ride animals in general? You have to get up your body control. Go to the Wurmpedia.com, look up body control. It has a giant list of all the animals. There might be more animals, but at least most of the animals that you can ride. Go there. It tells you what level your body control needs to be
That's right.
in order to ride them. I know horses are 21. Cows are actually quite low. I think you can ride them as a new player, but they are slow. But if you want to have some, some giggles,
You
go
can
ride a
walk.
cow.
You can walk faster than a cow. Although you can get cows with good traits.
It's
So,
true, but is that really going to go as fast as
I
you
think
want?
the
I don't
highest
know.
traded cow will go as pretty much as fast as you walk. So there's not really. Although the thing about riding that we haven't mentioned, this might be another tip. We'll come back to the body control because there's more to say about that. But another tip is that horses are not affected, or anything for that matter, are not affected by terrain. So they'll run at the same speed over any terrain. So that is one advantage of using, let's say, a cow or. Although still, cows are so slow that it's almost like you're walking.
That's right. So if I'm riding this
worst terrain,
horse, going across farm tiles, like it's not affecting it at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Going across all this as I lag out really bad.
hmm
Oh, you're right. You are right.
Yeah.
It's not bad. On dirt tiles, you don't get affected by the terrain at all. Even like tar.
Yeah,
And
tar, you can ride over
clay.
anything, and that's another good thing about.
It's a great way to get away from like
So now
monsters
back
and stuff.
back to the body control. Sure, you'll need 21 body control to ride a horse, which, granted, is a tough thing to get as a newbie. But you can hitch horses to carts and to large carts, and all you'll need is 20.1 mind logic, or is it
20.1.
01?
20.1.
20.1. Okay, so you need 20.1 mind logic to commander a cart. You hitch two horses to it, and you can ride along. And I mean, it'll go a little bit slower than a single horse. I think.
Oh, yeah, it's not bad. I do recommend if you want to know how to get your body control up to at least 21, watch our newbies tips and tricks episode where we talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I had a question about that. somebody asked me that question, I just said, "Yep, we've already discussed it."
All right. Well, here's another tip and trick. I decided to ask one of our, horse breeder friends because we don't know any tips and tricks. She said that if you're trying to level up horse breeding or animal husbandry, and you're trying to get a horse or an animal with a specific trait. So if you really like, we didn't really talk about it, but like dogs and like cave bugs and stuff, they don't have. They have extra traits, I guess, which are stuff that horses don't get. So we're talking about like the champion trait and the slow trait. I think we talked a little bit of the greenish trait and like all these traits, and they all have something that they do extra with the animal. So if you're like, I want to breed a champion dog like we do here, well, it's the mother has a better chance of passing along the trait than the father does. So if you had a champion mother dog and like, I don't know, another type like an alert dog, male dog, and you breed them together, then there's more than likely that you'll get a champion again than you will an alert. So that's something to keep in mind.
That's right. The mother's what's going to pass on the traits more than likely. So.
All right. So what else?
That's a tip to breed out some of the traits that you don't want and breed in some of them that you do want. Oh, another trait is that you can breed that it's not really a trait is color. Colors of horses breed through this system.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so you can get different colored horses. We like black, as you might be able to tell.
We have a lot of black, but there's four different, four or five.
Although the new models look nice, like the different colors. I like the brown.
Yeah, there's brown, there's black, there's white, there's gray, and there's golden.
Yeah, golden. The golden one looks good with the new
I like the golden
ones.
Well.
The old trait, the old animations of the old models, the black ones look the best for sure.
Everybody wanted black.
Yeah.
So, what else? Do you have any other tips and tricks, or should we move on?
I think so.
You do?
I know that there's a lot of like we've given 5-speed horses away, and they're like, it's still not that fast. And I mean, they are faster than other horses, and over a long trip, they will go fast. Like, I don't know, a 5-speed horse might go 23 kilometers per hour on the fast end of things, maybe 25. But if you want to get your horse to go faster than that,
like I am right now?
Yeah. I mean, how fast are you going right now?
28.
28. Let me see how fast I can go here. My guy's going 27 right now. But if he pops a speed boost, I hear he's going 32.
Yeah, we can go up to 30 something.
I've seen this horse go 36.
Wow.
Which is, I hear he's 35. Anyway.
Also, quickly note that the amount that you're carrying affects how fast you can go.
That's right. In the same way that you walk. Now the carry more trait. Horses can have a trait, and all animals can have a trait called carry more, which means they won't be affected by that.
Yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. Yeah. All right, so what you're saying about gear?
So yeah, horses can have gear. You will equip them. The primary gear is horseshoes, and each horse can hold 4 horseshoes. And there's a little bit of a weird thing going on with them. Like a horseshoe won't actually do anything unless it's 50 quality. So anything below 50 quality doesn't do anything. And at 50 quality, or so the wiki says, a 50 quality horseshoe will increase the speed by 1/4 kilometer per hour. So if you get 4 of these, and it's about 1 kilometer per hour faster.
Yeah.
If all of those horseshoes got put up to 70 quality, then it's again another kilometer per hour, and 90 quality gives you another kilometer per hour. So there's 3 extra kilometers per hour speed that you can get on your horse. Now each of these horseshoes can be enchanted with Wind of Ages, and again that will increase if it's 50 Wind of Ages, it will increase by 1 kilometer per hour for a set. 70 will do another kilometer, and 90 will do another kilometer. So if you have a set of 90 quality horseshoes with 90 WA on them, you'll be going approximately 6 kilometers per hour faster.
That's
Now,
pretty crazy.
while that might be what the wiki says, from my experience, it doesn't seem to work this way. Because, I mean, as I said, I was going 35 kilometers an hour right there, and I do not have a set of 90 quality 90 WA horseshoes. And so it seems like
Something a little
I'm
off
still
with
going faster than that 6 kilometers that it should be. So there's something off, and I don't think anybody really has a full answer. That's the beauty of this game. That
we don't
so
quite know.
yeah, we don't
why
know.
we're
I
going
don't know
this
anybody who
speed.
does know. And if somebody does know, then it's very possible they haven't communicated that or haven't scientifically proven it, which it seems like you need a scientific experiment to be validated on the wiki.
That's right.
Anyway, that's that. There's a couple other things you can add to your horse. Although whether or not it increases the speed or whatever, I'm not 100% sure. Saddles are said to increase speed.
I think they
Those are
do.
leatherworking. Yeah, you think they do, and I think they do too, because we have saddles on ours, and it seems that we're going pretty fast. And the saddle can also have WA, which again may or may not increase speed, but I think it does.
I think it does.
Yeah, we think it does.
Now
So we do.
the really weird thing is the bridle.
Now, I think for a lot of people don't think that it really does anything. And I'll tell you, I still don't know if it does anything.
We should really test that out.
We should test it out, and I've been meaning to. I just don't have a leather worker to get me a high enough quality bridle for me to test it out. What
Yeah.
I'll need is like at least a 70 quality bridle.
If
or
you're a leather
more.
worker, tell us in the comment section if it actually does something.
Yeah. And so test this out. I've read a post, and this is again, like not reliable. But I've read a post. Somebody who said he did some tests, and it turns out, according to him, that the bridle reduces the radius of the turn that the horse takes. So, like, if you're like, you know, normally turning, the horses have a wide turn radius. It's pretty wide. It's like 5 tiles wide or something.
It is quite large. You have
But
to
if
like
you-
continuously go back and forth.
Go back and forth to turn. It's like takes a while to turn your horse around.
It's like
But
a
from
car.
what this person says, that bridles cause your horse to turn tighter. So the turning radius is less.
Yeah, it's pretty nice if it does. We
It
should
does.
really
I
test
haven't-
that out.
We should test it out. We just need to get a bridle from somewhere.
To really see, yeah.
Let's see. I don't know. It's hard to say.
I will walk around the castle as we talk.
Yeah.
So what were you saying? So that's gear, basically.
Yeah,
In
that's
order
gear.
to equip the gear,
Oh,
the
yes.
animal needs to be tamed. So the
Mhm.
animal will eat.
We may as well just say what taming is. It's like you get a food
did
that
say
the
what it
animal
was.
likes,
Oh,
and you write that, and you have to. I mean, if you want to put on horseshoes, you have to do this. So you have to. I mean, for horses, grains, and mixed grass work, you just activate it and right-click the horse, and you tame. Although I recommend not starting with horses because they could easily.
don't hold the weapon while you do it. Do
That's
it
right.
near
A pen.
a pen. Do it
Anyway,
near.
there's a whole. We could do this in a whole episode on taming, exactly how to do taming. But the idea is you don't want to kill your horse. So yeah, try not to kill your horse.
It can hate you. It can aggro you if you
Yeah.
you try to tame it.
Start on dogs or pigs or something that are easier. Anyway, if you you need to tame your animal, then you can equip it. I would highly recommend untaming it before taking your horse out. You do not want to be riding on a horse that you've tamed because then it will fight for you. And while that sounds good, the problem is that then it will get hit and potentially die.
It can't take a lot of beating.
And it's happened to me. I forgot to untame my horse, and my horse died. while I was out on a hunting trip, and so I literally just took the horseshoes and saddle from the corpse, and I had to walk my way home, which was not a fun journey.
That's pretty funny.
Ah,
It's a funny
anyway,
journey.
yeah, it's not funny, but yeah, it's funny when it's not you.
It's still funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, there's not really much. Another tip would be that you can brand horses. So
Yeah,
branding horses would mean that you can, if
claim
you,
it.
yeah, you basically claim the horse as your town. So if you're a part of a deed or you own a deed, you can make a branding iron and get it hot, brand the horse with it, and then it's going to say that your town owns this horse.
Now, I think that the horse has to be on your village when you do this in order for it to work. Um,
Possibly.
but when you do it, it pretty much allows you to manage the settings of your horse to prevent other people from riding it, and uh, similar to how a cart works. So you'll always be able to lead it if, let's say, you left it on somebody else's deed by accident, or I don't know. You'll always be able to lead it. So that's the benefit.
Yeah. It's a good benefit if you're going to keep the horse. Now, you can't unbrand a horse, so therefore,
That's right.
if you brand a horse, it's yours forever for the lifespan
Yeah.
of that horse. So
That's
don't
right.
brand all of your horses,
Yeah,
especially if you're going to
because
sell
you
them.
won't be able to sell it or trade it or give it to anybody else that is from another deed. I'm not sure what happens. What if you leave your deed?
If you leave your deed, that horse is still part of the deed. If your deed becomes, if you disband the deed, then it loses its branding.
Hmm.
So yeah, you have to keep that in mind. Another care for. What does that mean?
That's right. Care
We were
for
talking about that earlier. Here, go quickly try to explain what care for means.
quickly. Yes. Care for is something that if you right click any animal, you can care for it, and it will extend the life of the animal, which is great. I mean, if you find a horse that you like the name, you care for it, and it will last much longer. Um, the only thing is that you can only care for a certain number of animals, and that number depends on your animal husbandry skills. So this is another
This
reason
is why I was
get that up
leveling my animal husbandry skill
to
a year
20.
ago.
Yeah. When you start out the game, you get one care for slot, and if you get to level 10, you get two. Level 20, you get three, and so on and so forth. And so,
That's
we
right.
leveled up to 20 so that we have three care for slots.
We
It's
can
it's an
care for
interesting
3
system.
animals.
You can care for three animals, but let's say you want to get rid of one before it's dead. You have to actually uncare for every one of your animals, I think.
Yeah, I kind of wish that they had the ability to like have a care for window.
Yeah,
It's like,
and then you
these
can
are the
see which
windows that
ones
you're. These are the animals that you're caring
animals
for.
caring.
Right click it,
Yeah.
uncare or whatever.
That's right. But it seems like right now you can only uncare for all of them, yeah, and then you have to recare for them.
Yeah, which is some command that I don't remember.
Stop caring or something.
Somebody can
Slash-
tell us down.
Slash
there.
stop caring. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway,
Something like
so that's what care for does. It's almost
good.
necessary if you're going to
Yeah.
keep a horse and you're going to have, if you're going to put, I don't know, it's good for animal husbandry if you want to keep your breeding horses alive longer. It's good for if you're not even an animal guy, but you have like, you bought horses, it keeps your bought horses alive for longer. If you, especially with the ones that you keep gear on, because you don't want to keep
That's right.
switching gear.
That's right. I mean, I've cared for this horse and it finally turned old, but I've had this horse for a while now.
Okay, so the last tip and trick that I want to do before we move on to the next section is hell horses, which only basically stand for the horses that are on fire that you see sometimes.
Yeah, they're a new animal that was added
Not
to the game.
entirely new anymore.
Not-
When we say new, we mean in the last
We
year.
can yeah, after we started playing. So yeah, they're basically horses that are on fire. You could breed them in the same way that you can breed any animal, but in addition, they sort of act more like horses than anything else. So they get unique names, they breed their traits, and you can ride them at a specific body control, which has changed recently, I think.
The great thing about them is that they always, at least I've never done this before, and I'll tell you why in a second, but they're always supposed to go their top speed. With horses, they go slowly, and then all of a sudden their lightning speed kicks in, and they go quickly, and then
Yeah.
like they're just jumping all over the place. Hell horses are supposed to just always kind of never have that lull in speed,
That's
never
right.
get tired.
So they'll maintain a really like as my horse got to 35. Apparently, a hell horse, if it gets to 35, it pretty much maintains that 35 indefinitely. Whereas this horse will lose
Possibly, I can still see it being affected by maybe hunger and stuff.
it. Maybe.
But I don't know. Anyway, so
But there is one downside to hell horses.
yeah, there is one giant downside that makes them not viable for anyone other than a
Yeah.
faux priest, and that's because if you try to lead them, if you try to ride them, if you try to hitch them to a cart, they will burn you.
Yeah.
As you're doing this, they will just continuously burn you, and there's
Attack.
there's no other like way to get any skills at all up, like
Yeah.
taming or something doesn't allow
Like
you
that.
to prevent this. So you will die essentially if you start trying to ride them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can get to the point where your fight skill is so high that they'll only hit
You'll
you
still
tiny
die.
amount. I mean, you'll still die
You
eventually.
couldn't
but,
take them on a trip.
but you can take them on a hunting trip if you have a sword.
I
with,
think you would
life
get hit
transfer on it.
more than like I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works, but I don't think that your fighting skill will ever make up for the fact that you're going and like the amount of
Maybe.
armor and stuff.
I don't know. From what I hear, people do it anyway, so there must be a point in which
If you're a faux priest, you can ride them without getting
That's
hit at all.
That's right.
So I
yeah.
can see faux priests going out and doing it all. It's basically a faux priest animal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Priests definitely have the best advantage, but again, I've heard of people doing it anyway.
I haven't.
Mostly for PvP. So not on freedom, but you do it on PvP because
Maybe.
although they recently got nerfed the hell horses so that they're easier to kill, and so that makes them not as desirable as they used to be.
Ah, well.
Anyway, that's a whole other issue. We're not on.
Anyway,
Epic.
that's our tips and tricks section. Now, there's a new section that I want to bring up, a new segment, that just kind of brings up sort of a bunch of things that maybe we want to see happen with animal breeding and animals and horses in general in the future. So I actually made a little list. I know you added stuff to the list as well. And let's quickly go through these.
Okay, so these are things that we want to see done to the animal husbandry / animals in the game. One of the first things that we noticed when the new animations got put in, we love the horse model. Awesome.
Yeah, this
We
was
love
like
the way horses look. But even when we were doing our Wurm 1.0 special, it was the first thing that we said, we cannot show a horse running.
yeah, go back to the Wurm 1.0
Yeah.
special. This even like when I was working on the trailer, and I was thinking this would be perfect. I'm waiting for like the new animal models and like the horses. They're gonna look great. And then I go in and I see them and I'm like riding them and I'm watching people ride them and the horses are supposed to like gallop like and go through
Yeah.
them. They're supposed to look great. And Adam runs by and the horse is like like really
like-
fast.
It's like the sped up walking animation. So it looks like the
I'm like,
horse
oh no.
is like walking, but like sped up.
like I can't film this.
Like horses don't do this.
So yeah.
I mean, the model looks great. It would just be nice to have a galloping animation.
And I noticed some other animals do that, even though they kind of look funky when they do. Like the cow or the bull, maybe the cow and the bull, or just the bull.
That's right. That's
One
right,
of
the
them
bull, for
gallop.
sure.
Even like wolves have like a gallop. Dogs even like have a little gallop animation. Some I don't know.
Yeah.
Just horses, the most important animal,
Yeah. Why
doesn't
not?
have a gallop yet. Hopefully that's coming. Next,
That's right.
you can say this one.
This is one that I've seen talked about. It's not ours. Like we've read it before. It's a great idea.
It's one that we did. I remember a long time ago when we were thinking of ideas. It's one that we brought up, and I know
Yeah,
we're just
this
not
is
the
a long
only
time.
ones that have brought this up.
That is-
Others.
Yeah, yeah. It's one where you have an item, that allows you to like it's like maybe a stake or like a pole that you drive into the ground, and you can attach your horse to it.
Yeah,
So it's like a horse pole or something like that.
or like a
Um,
stake. Just
yeah,
a,
it's a
it's like if
temporary.
you had a rope and you took that rope and you just like dug a stake
Hi-
into the ground.
Hide it to the stake. I mean, the reason is because if you get off your horse and start walking away, your horse will wander. It'll just start going,
That's right.
and anybody can pick it up if they wanted to if you're off deed, and it's just it's kind of annoying. It would be nice to just be able to just get off your horse, stake it into the ground. Now, another reason why this is beneficial is because during server restarts, you could just stake your horse and it will be, you know, attached to that stake. Because as it is now, if you're out in the middle of a hunting uh, trip, or any trip for that matter, and all of a sudden it says, oh, 10 minutes until the server restarts, which is pretty much the warning that you get. 10 minutes, you could possibly be an hour away from your house, and 10 minutes is not enough to get to a safe location. And next thing you know, you get kicked off the server, and your horse is free to wander wherever. And unless you're there when the servers come back up.
People are gonna argue here, but why not just tame your horse? Because I don't think you need to tame your horse necessarily in order to keep your
Yeah.
horse safe. Like
And
there
what
should
if you
be a
have
non-tameable solution.
what if you have two horses with you on a cart,
Yeah,
right? Like there should be a way to be like, okay, server's about to restart, or I'm in the middle of nowhere and I need to just make sure my horses are safe. I don't know.
it would benefit travelers.
Travel.
Getting the people out there. And my idea would for these would be that you'd have to make this stake, rope mechanism, and you'd only be able to use it on one horse, and it would decay quickly. It wouldn't last that long. Maybe it would last from 3 to 7 days. Enough that like within the week, it would be depending on the quality level of the item. So if it's a higher quality level, it'll last longer. But it should be a temporary item, like an item that will decay over time. You can't repair, or maybe you can repair. I don't know. Just something that you'd be able to use while you're out on a hunting trip, or while you want to journey somewhere to the other side of the server, especially on India, I would assume. And it's really far, and you just want to have your horse there for a couple days.
Yeah, and it'll prevent people from stealing your horse potentially, or what I usually do if
You
I'm
could
like
do that on a deed, and it could safeguard your horse.
That's right. That's right.
So you log
And
back
this
in,
will,
and it's your horse.
I mean, this is one issue that we've had is people coming to visit us, and they're like, "Oh, where can I put my horse?" And we're like, "Okay, well, you can put it in our pen, but you won't be able to get it again."
Because when you come back in 3 days, it's going to
Or
say
you-
that you can't lead on our property,
Yeah,
because we don't
we-
have that on.
I mean, obviously we don't have that on because we don't want anybody to come and just take all our horses away.
That's right.
I mean, that's I mean, that's just the obvious reason, and so it would be nice to be able to be like, okay, come visit our deed, and maybe we're not on like we're not on the next day, and they want to go, so.
Or how about
uh,
they come and visit, and we're not on when they visit, and they have to go? What do they do with their horses? No
this would
one's
be a great
around.
thing for like an inn, for example. Like we were planning an inn over there where people can stay, visitors can stay, and imagine we had like a stables that had these poles that people can just hitch their horse to, and I don't know, it would act like sort of like a lock for their horse, so that they'll be able to get it.
That makes so
again.
much sense.
Mhm.
To have like
It
a
encourages
small
traveling.
stable for people to hitch their horse to. And I know I was trying to think of ideas and ways that people can do this legitimately, because you wouldn't want somebody to just hitch a horse and then never come back for that horse. Like, let's say they hitch their horse, and if they don't get their horse within like a week or 5 to 7 days, then
That's right.
the mayor or something would then get access, would be able to get the
That's
horse,
right.
or
Yeah,
the
yeah.
owner of the house. Let's say that thing gets attached to one of the houses or something, then the owner of that writ
Or
would
the
get
or
that
the thing
ability.
decays, like you mentioned. There's another option to make it so like.
Well, I
if
was
you don't come
almost
back-
thinking that like innkeepers or people with the houses should be able to provide a spot for horses like that,
That's right.
like those things, so they wouldn't decay or anything like that. It would be something. I mean, they would decay like anything else in the game, but it would be more of a permanent structure, something that you could make for your inn to make it more of like a real inn, to promote people traveling, to promote people to get out
That's
there
right.
and to be
That's
able
right.
to visit
Revisiting.
inns. And yes, there
Yeah.
are other problems with inns. Hopefully, they will get addressed eventually, like problems with beds, uh, not being able to have a rent-free bed for
That's
just
right.
anybody. Because that's what inns are supposed to be. They're not.
That's right.
Inns aren't supposed to be for your friends. Like, you can have a guest house for that. Inns are supposed
Sure.
to be for travelers that just come to your village and want a place to stay. They don't have to talk to you. They just walk in and they sleep. And I
I
don't.
remember the Impalong.
Only
when
if
we
you
were
don't wanna-
visiting the Impalong. We walked there and there was like an inn and it had like 30 some odd beds in it. We're like, great, sweet. And then we went to go try to sleep in it. It's like,
Can't sleep in it
can't sleep in it.
because they don't allow you to mark your bed as free and still allow strangers to come and
We're
sleep
like
in them.
completely off topic here, but
Yeah, whatever.
this
Anyway,
is our just
that's
rant.
that's something that I wish they would have.
Yeah.
Next, the ability to make stables indoors.
Okay.
Hold on. Now,
That's
you potentially
indoor
can.
stables.
If you have a house and you build it, or you have a house plan, you build it over grass, that grass will stay there. But once you pack that grass in, it's gone. Like, no horses. Now, I think that's okay for the houses that we have now. For the wood type and the stone type, I would probably recommend that there should be a type of wall that if you build this wall all the way around, it would be like the stables wall, or like different kinds of stables that you'd be allowed to have grass inside. Or another solution would be that you would be allowed to put food, like, what are those things called? Troughs. You'd be allowed to put troughs inside of your stables, and you would load it up with food, and it would like you'd be able to have like lots of mixed grass or whatever in there, and it would look good, and the horse would just like stay in there inside your pen.
That's right.
It would be nice to have like hay and stuff. I don't know how you'd do that. It'd have to be pretty easy to make, and then the horse would stay like fat and have a good fat reserve and not go hungry.
That's right.
To have indoor stables like you have now in real life.
Yeah, like in real life, when you're keeping horses, sure, some of the time they're outside, but for the most part, you'd bring them indoors. I mean, not for the most part, but you have most often the horses are kept indoors.
And you want, it would be nice to have that option in this game.
Yeah.
All right, and have any more? I think that's it.
I'd like to see more variety in traits, and I know that there's a lot of traits in the game, but when it comes down to it, to get a 5-speed horse is not too difficult. And
No.
really, there's even controversy over whether or not all those 5-speed traits are even speed boosts. But if we had like more speed traits, then you could have traits. Like, let's say you had 10 different traits that could increase speed in a different way, but you could only have 5 or 6 or 7, depending on your skill. And you have to pick and choose. So all of a sudden, you now have more variety in the horse. Some horses have, sure, this horse has 7 traits, but does it have that 1 or 2 traits that you're looking for? Maybe it doesn't. And so, like, as it is right now, if you have the ability to put in 5 traits and you have bred those 5 speed traits, then there's pretty much no going further than that. And so you pretty much,
Yeah, okay,
you've gotten your Animal Husbandry to 50, and now there's no reason to go any higher. I don't know. More traits would seem to encourage more
would make the skill more in depth. Would give
more in depth.
Would just flesh out the whole skill.
And give you a reason to go to 90.
I wouldn't mind like an Animal Husbandry UI window of some kind in the game, but I haven't even thought about that. That just popped in my head. So I
But
think
think about this, like if you're a blacksmith and you say, "Oh, I'm a 90 blacksmith," and then people are like, "Nice, respect." It's like I'm a 90 animal husbandry. It's like
yeah,
why? It's like why? No reason.
yeah, they should give that sort of same reward to all the classes that blacksmiths have. Blacksmiths have like the biggest rewards almost.
It's
They create the most amount of tools for everybody. So
although
yeah,
weaponsmiths are pretty good.
that's true. Weaponsmiths, especially on not freedom. Uh,
Especially on that.
anyway, that's our segment about what we would like to see in the game. If you have what you want to see in the game of horses, make a comment in our comment section on any of our pages. Serversaredown.com would be your best bet if you want to
We
hear
want
it
to
in our
see
episode.
comments. Bring comments on. I mean, like anything that comes to mind about what you're seeing in the video. If you think of a comment in the video, like while watching the video, just pause it and make a comment. We want to hear them because the more comments we get, the more interaction we can give you guys.
That's right, and yeah, do it for Adam. Next segment, Q&A. So some of you did give us a comment or question, and Adam goes around to all the different places and finds them and sticks them in this document that he has for me every single week. So I'm going to read them out loud right now. Let's get started.
Sure.
All right. Question or comment number 1. Raven Panic 72 on episode 1, almost a month ago. I guess we missed this one.
Yeah, we missed it a while.
Yeah, if you're gonna make a comment, yeah, make it on serversaredown.com. We won't miss it, especially if you're going to YouTube and you're commenting on like a much earlier episode. We might miss it. There's a good chance.
On the this was episode number 1. It just so happened that I was browsing episode 1 for some reason or another.
All right.
And I'm like, oh, there's a new comment there that I haven't seen.
Let's see what
before.
this guy says. This is my first look into the game. What kind of PC do I need to have a?
Do
What
I
kind
need to have
do
a
I
good
need?
PC?
Do I need to have a good PC for? But it's a little laggy. I can play RuneScape and Torchlight, but this game.
Does it need more speed or am I fine?
Oh, he says does. Does it?
Dose.
Does it need more
Yeah.
speed, or am I fine than RuneScape or Torchlight? Yeah, it's gonna need more than RuneScape or Torchlight. Torchlight's not even an MMO. It's that game can run on anything. But RuneScape, they have gone through a lot of updates, and it does require more than it used to. But still, I'm pretty sure Wurm requires much more, especially with all the updates that's been happening with the graphics and stuff. Not a lot of things are optimized.
Yeah, the main reason why it needs more is because it runs off of Java. And Java, while it has gained quite a bit of traction in terms of optimizing programs, it still requires a little bit more for what you get. Some people pointed out that the graphics aren't the great. I mean, I love the graphics in this. They're very like specific to this game. But some people pointed out that the graphics could be better. And while you might find better graphics in other games, because it runs off of Java, it does take up quite a bit of,
But at the same time, I feel like you could just, if you do go through the process, it does take a while to optimize all the graphics and to like squish all the polygons out of each thing and to create faraway models and stuff. And like right now, I don't think there's any kind of optimization on a lot of these things, like the new walls and stuff. There's no way to lower the quality on them. So if you lowered your quality all the way to the bottom, they would look almost exactly the same. Like everything else around it would get worse. There's no like that kind of optimization, low res optimization yet for a lot of these things. So it makes it so a lot of the computers and laptops that used to be able to run this game a while ago before this now start to see that they can't quite run it anymore. They can't run it as well.
I mean, I run it on a laptop sometimes. I had to turn down my graphics for sure. But I found that at the near the lowest end of the graphics options, I can run it pretty smoothly. So, if you remember from a previous episode, I mentioned I'm the type of guy who would sacrifice graphics for performance. I mean, I need it to be smooth. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about graphics. But yeah, that's just me.
I guess we'll just be making more bricks, probably in the next 1,000 episodes or whatever it takes to build this thing.
Bricks and mortar, bricks and mortar.
All right, so that's what we'll do on the Q&A segment. Next question by I'm a fat something that I'm not going to say says on the Time to Terraform episode. Hey, Brian. Hey, that's me. Are you a paramedic? You look exactly like a guy I used to work with. Am I a paramedic?
It's a good question.
That is a good question. Oh, yeah. No, I am not, unfortunately. No. I am not that guy that you used to work with.
Did that guy that you used to work with also go by the name Brian?
Were you like not that close to this guy that you can't tell that I'm not that guy? I don't know. Yeah. I guess somebody looks like me out there that is a paramedic. So, hello, guy that looks like me. Next question, Delta Marine 132. How do you make the screen bigger when playing? I think we answered this one.
Did we?
Yeah, but we'll answer it again. It could be another question from a different guy, but it could be the same question. Basically, you go into your settings. I think we've done this before. I don't have a screen region.
But it depends on like what he means by that, because like it could be. I mean, does it mean that he
wants a screen bigger? I don't think it means that he's playing on a small screen. Because why would somebody write? How do I make my physical screen bigger? Like, no.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm thinking
that doesn't make any sense.
Just go out and buy a bigger screen.
I assume it plays in a window. Now the thing is, and I think that's what happens when you don't change the setting in the game. It might play in like a small window at first. Okay. So what you would do is you would go and open. Let's see if I can do this really quickly. How quick is my skills here? It's not very good.
Yeah. Now there's another thing that he could be meaning. I mean,
okay, so here it is. So you open up your settings. Let's make it a bit bigger. And no, I'm pretty sure he means this.
Okay, he might mean that, but what I'm saying is there's another thing that.
Well, let's finish this then. So then you just go to, it's right here in game. Display mode, full screen.
Okay, full
set
screen,
a resolution. Yeah. If you want it as big as possible, set it to the highest resolution that your computer can handle without lagging so much. Right now, I play it in window mode, mainly because when I need to record, and I need to jump in and out of the game all the time. So that's why I play in windowed mode.
I play in windowed mode, full screen as well, because I like tabbing between two or more characters.
We also have double screens.
Yes, that's one thing that I was going to say. That was the thing I was going to say. It's like, you want to make your screen bigger, get two screens. I did it, and I will never turn back, because the amount of space you have, it almost doesn't even act like two screens. It acts like one big screen that you just can put stuff wherever you want, and it's like...
I'm almost thinking of getting a third one now.
That would be awesome.
I don't have room for that, but if I
might
did...
get like one on, like, can be mounted on top or whatever. That would be awesome. Get four screens.
Get 4 screens, 2 on top. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. How much room can you have? How much money do you got? Yeah, I don't have the money for that, but that would be awesome.
Yeah. Would be awesome.
Next question. Vanna Koji asks...
Now this is a big thing. I don't know if we should announce it just yet. It has been announced,
skip
though.
That. It has been announced, but we won't announce it in this episode.
No? All right. Well.
Do you guys have a lot of rarely visited deeds? Do we have a lot of rarely, like, do we personally have deeds that we don't visit?
I think this is in response, well, not only there's a couple things because he
Hold on.
goes on to say
I
something. Yeah,
asked
sure.
since I started playing a few weeks ago on release after setting up a small house, I went to get some resources a minute or two away. Once there, I noticed a deed called Factional Fight Ranch, and it hasn't changed much since I saw it. That's a question for you. What
Yes.
is Factional Fight Ranch?
What is Factional Fight Ranch? Now, Factional Fight Ranch. Like, if you've been following us for some time, I mentioned before that I made a new character, and I made it right after release was released. And yeah, I did make a deed.
On
Called
Pristine,
it
that's right.
on release.
On release, I thought you were on Pristine.
Nope, I'm on release, and I mean, Pristine came out, and it was like land grab, like crazy. And then release came out, and there was less of a land grab because all those land grabbers went and got land on Pristine. So release was a lot more empty. So I wanted to do the pure newbie experience with no help and
Did it? Not even my help.
Did it.
I'm not even there.
yeah, no, not. And I just like went out. I was pretty proud of myself. I went from one end of the server to the other end, all the way into the south. I got a shoreline spot, and I planted a deed there. Yeah,
And you called it what?
Factional Fight Ranch.
The
I don't even
Factional
think
Fight
I told
Ranch.
you that.
You never told me that.
Yeah,
I've never been there. I've never seen it, so I don't know.
and one of the buildings there is called Factional Fight Hut. So yeah, if you, now I
You
do pop on.
Found the secret deed. No, yeah.
I was popping onto that guy at least once a day, but yeah, you probably would never see me, and there was not, probably wouldn't have seen much progress because I did do a bunch of terraforming. I flattened a little farm area for myself, and then I started digging and flattening, but then things started picking up with this village, and I've been really busy with that, so I put that on hold, and that guy, he ran at a premium, so he's fully on hold right now, and I might pick him up again when things start getting slow here, or
As long as you make sure
I
you have
might
enough
not.
upkeep.
The upkeep is good for a little while. I made sure of that. But again, that might not. I mean, right now that guy's on hold. Nothing's going into him. I'm just going to hold that spot for however long the upkeep's holding for. And I mean, I might sell it later. I don't know. It depends on what happens here, and it also depends on what we decide to do in the future. I mean, it's well, I guess I'll leave it at that.
All right. And the last question, I was just reading it here. We got quite a few of these.
Yeah, I had to take the one that was like brief, and because we got quite a few.
So thank you
this
everyone for asking this question.
This exact same question. Yeah.
I'm not sure why it was asked with this episode. But in particular, did we say something last episode
Three separate people on this particular episode asked this question, and it's not the only time it's been asked. It's been asked at least.
I think we answered this sometime. So I'm gonna say this question while screaming because I think that would represent this question more. Are you guys ever gonna try the Epic servers? Gah!
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure he didn't say it like that, but anyway. He goes on to say, you guys seem to be awesome grinders on Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You'd love Epic.
I was having a conversation with somebody about this grinding issue, and I'm like, if I was on Epic, my blacksmithing would already be maxed out, and then I'd be sad because it would be over.
That's
I
true.
don't know.
That is the benefit, and for some people, the downfall of Freedom is the fact that it takes longer. The problem with a game like this, once it's done, it's done.
That's right.
It's done, and then
you're on to the next thing, hopefully.
Or you're on to the next game. Who knows?
On Epic might be a better game for you because you like the jack of all trades, and I mean, you're even here. You're like, what's the next skill I can skill up? What's the next skill I can skill up?
Yeah, I can go on with the skills that I have and get them to 80, 90, or I can start up a new skill. I don't know. I mean,
I'm starting to warm up to the idea of Epic. I don't
But
know.
yeah, everyone talks about Epic and that we should go to Epic. I think that eventually, I mean, with all you guys wanting us to go to Epic, might be an episode or two in there.
There might be an episode or
Maybe
two.
after we get this place up and running, we make an Epic portal or something, then we can transfer back and forth whenever we
That's
want.
right. That's right. And maybe I don't know. It depends on kind of like how we get into that. Maybe it'll be something that we spend time on.
Yeah, so keep reminding us, and I know in the future when we do decide to go to Epic and we do have this place running, we'll probably ask you guys, which island should we take?
Server, yeah. So far, I feel like the majority.
Don't say anything.
I'm not saying what we're gonna do. I'm just saying from what the comments have been saying. We've had at
I
least
see.
3 comments that have specified a server to go to. Should I say it?
Sure. What have you guys been saying?
So that it seems like Serenity is where we're getting the most requests.
Okay, well,
So,
if you're not from
I don't
Serenity, make a request.
I don't know if you don't want us to go to Serenity, then yeah, make a request. But
We'll
from
think
the
about
most
it
part,
later.
it seems like Serenity is where people are commenting about.
I don't know anything about those islands yet, but maybe in the future when we do decide that, let's check it out, we're going to need to know where to go. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was having an interesting conversation with somebody from Serenity not too long ago, and it was like opening my eyes to some of the PvP aspects. I didn't know this before, but donut houses. I mean, they were introduced, and we're like, donut houses. Okay, why? Sort of thing. And it turns out donut houses play an integral role on PvP. So I think that they were introduced specifically for PvP, because you can put your token right into the center of a donut house, and it protects it way more than a wall would, let's say.
That
So then I
is
started
quite crazy.
I started thinking about okay, well, the houses that we're building right now. Imagine you built a house that size and a donut, so it was like a single thing, and then you put inner walls all the way in. And apparently, if the house is tall enough, then the catapult can only affect the top level. So you'll have to break it down.
Wonder if they're going to switch that at some point.
Maybe, because I can imagine putting a house that was 10 stories tall. Not a problem, because I mean we could make a 10-story house. Almost. Yeah, maybe a 9-story house. Anyway, we can make a tall house, and we can make it the size that we're making them. I mean, not much effort to go into this, and completely protect a token.
Yeah. That does sound... Oh, that does sound quite... yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice that they made the donut-style house. I like that for freedom. So, yeah, kudos. But yeah, we're getting completely off topic. Let's just say thank you everyone for your comments. Thank you everyone for watching. Please go visit serversaredown.com and watch more videos and more content there. Or go to our Twitter and follow us on Twitter at Factional Fight, and go to our Facebook and like us on Facebook, serversaredown.com. You can find all those links on our website at serversaredown.com. Thank you guys for watching. And until next week, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Take care, guys.